thegearnetwork.com.
The following is a presentation of the Gear Radio Network.
Hey guys, this is Tyler Hilton, and you're listening to the All Bets Are Off podcast.
And here we are. Welcome back to the All Bets Are Off podcast. My name is Adam, and we're going to be hosting.
What is going on?
I'm doing the intro, dude.
You don't even live here. You don't come on this show.
Yeah, but I do the intro.
No, you don't do the intro. This is my show. This is my show. My show.
I don't understand.
This is the All Bets Are Off podcast with Robby Vegas featuring Chazz Stanley. Not whoever.
Hang on. Are you guys recording already?
Who is this?
What the fuck are you doing?
We are doing a show.
Oh, I saw a play button. I hit it.
Okay, so I'm supposed to come on and say, "What's up, rock soldiers? This is the rockstar Robby Vegas bringing the whole spiel after that."
Well,
and you guys are
we
already...
did it.
You're in.
We did it.
We did it.
What the fuck are we supposed to do?
Well, we did the live read too for like TrojanCondoms.com.
Oh,
we did that.
Is that the sponsor?
It's the new sponsor.
Oh, okay.
Safe
The little ones though for Chazz.
Hey, come on.
The finger ones?
Yeah.
This is ridiculous. Where did this go? This went off track.
Let's just go around and just tell everybody who's actually talking.
All right, what's up, y'all? It's Chazz.
Hey guys, it's Adam. Oh, this one. There we go.
I heard a little bit. It was like a little like...
bottles are tough.
I laugh.
And this is your actual host, Robby Vegas.
You're the host, I'm the star, and Adam is Adam.
All right.
I'm
just back again here.
So today, this is going to be fun because we are picking our top 4 draft style TGIF shows. And here's the thing. We got to explain a little more.
A lot of debate about this.
There is. First of all, I wanted to do this because it's just that time of year when we were younger and you would rush home from school on Friday and you couldn't wait to watch TGIF, and they were doing the Halloween and the Thanksgiving and the Christmas specials.
We would rush home and wait 6 hours.
Wait 6 hours for TGIF. But it was like the fun thing to do on Friday, and the whole family did it, and sitting around watching all your favorite shows. And I miss that. And it's that time of year where that's like a cool thing that we would do. And I thought this would be fun, except we're going to bring in shows that weren't necessarily a part of TGIF. We're just going to all pick our top 4 sitcoms and build our perfect TGIF lineup.
Yeah, so it's not necessarily just that, 1990 to 1993 time slot.
Right.
It's just like whatever would, make us feel warm and fuzzy inside.
Right, exactly.
I'm excited about this one, guys. I appreciate you having me on again.
Yeah, of course. And we did say, though, no animated shows.
Yeah, because mine would most likely be all animated.
Right.
Not gonna lie.
They have to be real people. If you hear onions being chopped in the background, that is what that is. But I'm leaving it. So we're going to eat after this.
We're people, too.
We
do get hungry during the show.
We're not just rich and famous celebrities. We eat.
Right. We have our personal chef making us dinner.
And to top it off, we got a bottle of bubbly again sent over from Chris Jericho, friend of the show.
Friend of the show.
We always have to make sure we mention that. Cheers to him. Appreciate it.
Cheers, Chris. We were gonna include your TGIF shows, but they were all wrestling, and that was another one. We said no wrestling. So
yeah, unfortunately. Next time. Next episode.
Next time.
Next time.
But thanks for calling.
And thanks for the cheese plate.
So just so you guys know, before we started here, we picked our order. Chazz is going to go first.
As always, for some reason.
Followed by Robby, and then myself.
I would normally say that he rigs it that way, but
I think he does. I did shuffle it this time, and he just happened to pick the first card that was right in front of him.
The 3 drafts we did, I picked first. I had 2 of them.
The drafts or the drafts?
Whichever you choose. I picked
he's drunk already.
Listen,
he had one cider.
I've had half of a hard cider so far. And that shit is hitting hard.
I had a sip of zombie dust.
Just wait till he finishes it.
Hashtag not a sponsor.
America's watching ABC.
It's Friday night, and the mood is right. We're gonna have some fun, show you how it's done, TGIF.
Today's episode is brought to you by Anguished Allure magazine. Anguished Allure was founded in Buffalo and celebrates Halloween all year long. Anguished Allure magazine features gothic and horror-themed businesses, artists, and photographers. If you'd like to buy a copy and support them, or submit your own artwork or products, please reach out to them at anguishedalluremagazine.com. So one more time, that's anguishedalluremagazine.com. So please check them out, support our sponsor, and they're more than a sponsor. We absolutely adore this magazine, and we know that you will too.
Hey everybody, this is Lauren Marie Taylor, creator and host of the Not the Final Girl podcast. Okay, so every horror fan remembers the final girl, right? You know, the one who can outrun and outsmart the Jasons, the Michaels, the Chuckies. I think you get it. But what about the girls and, yeah, the guys who met with an untimely end? Those of us who were tortured and tripped, dragged and killed. Don't we deserve some props? As Vicky in Friday the 13th Part 2 and Sheila in Girls Night Out, I know what a drag it is to succumb to those masked and wardrobe-challenged killers, to not be the final girl. On my new podcast, I'll be chatting with other women of horror who share the same fate. Special guests include those final girls as well as the writers and directors who created our characters, only to give us an early expiration date. And if they play nice, we'll let some of those crazed killers of horror tell their side of the story. So join me, Lauren Marie Taylor, on the Not the Final Girl podcast. Be sure to hit that subscribe button so you get the alerts when the episodes drop. Thanks for listening. Keep your doors locked and stay out of the woods.
So we're just going to get right into it?
Yeah, I think so.
This is going to be tough, man.
So, can we just say that we each have, like, lists of shows, but we didn't actually organize anything?
I think we're going to kind of go off the top of our head here.
Here's my conundrum, picking first overall. I have a bar none, like, perfect, it is my number one sitcom, number one show of all time.
Is it Elf?
But I don't think any of you are going to draft it. Here's the thing. I don't think any of you are going to draft it. So I might skip it and just pick a different one because I think I can get that one later. But now if one of you take it, probably going to stab you in the throat.
I was going to say you'd be really pissed.
A nice throat thrust, old Undertaker style.
Are you feeling confident that we don't have it on our list?
Oh, yes.
Okay.
Yes, I am feeling confident. Right. So, now, not that this isn't this next show that I'm going to pick, and I think it's well worthy of the first overall pick. And you're probably going to argue me, but I think other people are going to be my side. So with the first overall pick in the sitcom draft, it's a little more adulty, but I'm picking Friends.
So no one told you life was gonna be this way. Your job's a joke.
Really?
Friends is going on my list. It's one of the funniest shows, most memorable shows I have in my entire life.
That kind of surprises me.
It surprises me too.
I did not expect you to pick Friends
No.
off the rip. Worthy of the first pick.
For sure.
Absolutely.
For sure.
There's so many
From you, did not expect it.
I agree.
Really?
I totally agree.
Yeah.
I think that it's a great show and it's a great pick. I just didn't see it coming from you.
Yeah, I love that show. I've easily seen every episode. I remember being... And I don't watch a lot of TV, so this is the hardest one for me. But, like, I remember it was my senior year, 2004, my senior year. Like, I literally remember, like, watching the last episode. It was a big deal. And, like, is he going to get Rachel back? Oh, my God.
Well, here's my question to you then. Did you watch the Friends reunion this year?
I didn't yet.
It was so good.
Was it?
It was very good. I watched a little bit of it.
I wasn't able to.
So we all watched
It was
Friends.
fantastic.
Yeah, I mean, I think Friends, like I said, it's probably my number 2 show. I think I'm going to get my number 1 show later. But this is like drafting. You gotta like play the field a little bit.
You got to plan it.
Like
I'm starting to learn that.
I'm not going to be up for 5 more picks. There's a chance that one of you guys might have taken Friends.
Worthy of the number 1 pick. Friends is a show that you will literally watch forever.
Agreed.
Which
10 years from now, 20 years from now, you're going to look back at Friends and go, this was a great show.
I actually have a quest right here. Let me bring in our personal chef here for this one. Personal chef, come over here. Okay. Have you watched Friends? Right?
Yes.
Okay. So you have 3 dudes here. Mm-hmm. Which one are we out of the 3 Friends guys?
Ooh. That's a great question.
That is a really good question.
I'm very curious to see where this is going.
I have an idea of which one's which, but...
Adam's Joey.
That's where I would have went. That's where I would have went.
Yep.
This is the big one.
Gio's Chandler.
That's exactly what
I was literally thinking the
Robbie
same
is
thing.
That's
100%.
You
Robbie
cannot
is
be
wrong.
serious.
That's the exact way that I thought that was going to go.
That's
100%.
exactly 100%. And we all
exactly
know.
had the same thought.
We all know you're Phoebe over there. Okay.
Smelly cat, smelly cat. All right.
Well, that's a
All
great
right.
way to start. So now we're turning
Friends
it over
off the board.
to Robby.
Guys,
Robbie.
The Zach Wilson
number
of the
2.
draft.
This is probably the only one that Adam is going to be mad at me for taking, but I'm going Boy Meets World right off the bat.
Yeah.
Because
I knew you were going to do that.
that is my all-time favorite show.
Yeah,
Mine as well.
It really is.
That's why I didn't even write it on my
Also-
list. I wasn't going to get it.
For those of you wondering, Boy Meets World is streaming on Disney Plus. So
Yes.
if you did not know that, now you do.
Finished it, started it over. Don't watch
No.
Girl Meets World first.
Or at all.
I don't think that one's ever going to make anybody's list.
No.
You don't know my list, bro.
No, okay, Chaz.
Stop
All right,
assuming
take it easy,
about
bud.
my
I just
list.
got to say, we can't
Finish
just
your
say
cider.
we can't just say we can't just say Boy Meets World and then go on to Adam. We have to talk about
No.
how amazing this show
You know,
is.
we're taking it for granted because it was such a huge
It was
thing
an
for us.
Right.
incredible show, and when you knew Boy Meets World was coming on, you stopped what you were doing, you
And
were
you
turning on the
watched it.
TV, and you were watching
Yes.
Boy Meets World.
Real talk. Was it actually on TGIF?
Yes, it
Yes,
was.
it was.
Yes,
It
it
was
was.
actually
Sure.
on the TGIF lineup.
Yes.
I mean, I easily watched it way more in syndication.
So now,
But
you know, as it went on, that's a show that continued to get better and get more funny. So like once I hit high school, it was great, and then the college years, off the charts, hilarious. Like
Totally agree.
I love the whole cast though. Like everybody had their moments, and you're going through with Eric and Jack and Sean and Corey and Topanga and Angela. They all had something that was hilarious, but especially Eric and Jack.
Yes.
Like that combo was just oh my god funny.
If you didn't have a crush on Topanga, I don't know
I had a crush
what
on Topanga.
you were
All right, get back
what
to
you were
cooking.
watching
thank you.
when you were a kid.
No, and you
But
know.
Boy Meets World is such a good show. Even
Matthew
the-
Lawrence did such a great job in the later
Fantastic.
seasons of being that
You had a
Like-
you had a man crush on him.
Matthew Lawrence.
Yes.
More
You
so
did.
Will
I
Friedle,
was going to
but
say
yeah,
it was a little
both.
bit more on the Will
I mean, I
Friedle
thought
side, but
Ryder
Matthew
Strong.
Lawrence was great, but
You're right.
Ryder
You're-
Strong
you,
is
you were more.
if
you were
anybody
more-
else
you're
played
right.
Sean, I'd probably be disappointed.
Yeah,
If
right.
anybody
right.
else played anybody,
True.
That's true.
And that's the point that I was going to make is that even everybody is in their perfect roles for that
Right.
show.
Yes.
Even including the people who didn't really have
Well, the
a big
parents.
role, the
Right.
parents,
Right.
Vader.
Vader,
Right.
Jake the Snake.
Jake the Snake.
Yeah,
absolutely.
also to Mr. Feeney, of course. To
Oh,
everybody,
and
everything.
Mr. Feeney, man, the banter between him and Eric is just
Oh my God, the Feeney call.
gold.
Fine! Fine! Ooh, that was a new one. You are not calling a duck. Oh, come admit you love the Feeney call. Now, I have a feeling we're not going to be together that much longer, so you've got to admit it before it's too late. Mr. Feeney? Mr. Feeney! Mr. Feeney! Mr. Feeney! Feeney! I'm saying, Feeney! 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 Ow! Hey, what? Hey! Ow!
I love the Feeney call.
Oh, I was going to say, who can do it? Anybody? Take a shot at it?
Remember.
No.
Well, here's another thing about to tie in Boy Meets World and Friends.
You're going
like,
where I was going.
Like
Yep.
you just said, like everyone played the perfect part. You couldn't replace anybody in Friends either.
True.
But another thing, especially with Friends, but especially with Boy Meets World, is a lot of seriousness.
Yes.
There was a lot of seriousness at times.
They dealt with real life issues.
Yeah,
It
like,
wasn't just a big joke.
way more Boy Meets World. Friends
Yeah.
had it too, and it was heartwarming. Now, Boy Meets World was geared towards children.
Yeah. Well, children
Young
at
adults.
first,
Young
but then
adults.
it grew
Then
with
it
you.
did grow.
You know,
Yes.
they start talking in the later seasons. They get more talking about sex and like shit like that. But in the '90s, that was a different
It was a
taboo
different time.
topic where
Pregnancy.
pregnancy,
And
marriage,
stuff like that. Yeah,
You know,
it was it was serious, and I think that does make a good. What's the word? Like that makes a good, I guess, sitcom as opposed to just a comedy show.
yes, I agree.
Is to tie it in. Now it doesn't have to be a drama-filled show. Like Boy Meets World might be probably the most drama show maybe on all these lists because it really was.
It was.
It was like a half. You all right there?
Yeah, I started to cry.
You all right there?
I missed the show so bad.
He just remembered how old he was.
I want to
talking
point
about
out
these shows.
the two shows are also tied together in one other way: is that both of them had the same beginning and ending cast.
Oh, yeah.
And a lot of shows don't do that.
Very true. That is a
Nobody
very good
left.
point.
You're right.
Everybody was the same character.
They may have
Nobody-
added, like Boy Meets World.
Sure, they added people
Yeah.
throughout the seasons, but
the core cast
Corey
was there.
Corey was Corey.
Yeah.
The whole time. Topanga and everybody was their characters in that classic. I am a little upset
Welcome
you
to the
took
Boy
that.
Meets World podcast.
I'm a little
You
upset
gonna
that you took
cheers,
that one from
everybody?
me.
Hear that? Wait, listen.
The audience goes.
The crowd is going nuts in the background.
All right, I guess we're
So
moving on
that's
to
me,
Adam
right?
here.
3.
Yeah.
So I get 2 now.
We're moving on to Joey.
I bet you they thought we were kidding when we said there was going to be food being prepared while we were doing this. We're not kidding. We're starving.
Yes.
All right, continue.
And our cook better do it right or she's fired.
You are right. I'm a little upset that you took that one on me because that's exactly what I was.
Was that your number one
I was
pick?
going to go with that one. That's why I was actually, if I would have gotten the first pick, I would have taken that one first overall.
Boy Meets World.
100%.
I knew it. Glad I drew number 2.
Here, I am going to take one that
I love a good number 2. I broke Adam. Hang on. All right.
I am going to take one that you might be a little mad at.
I knew it.
I'm going to take the Fresh Prince of Bel-Air.
Ooh.
Fair.
So that's a great, also first round pick for somebody.
Yes.
But I'm going to let you explain why.
Listen, Will Smith, when in his early years, I don't think I ever watched an episode of Fresh Prince that I did not hysterically laugh at. I love the cast. If you didn't try to do the Carlton dance, like after watching an episode of the Fresh Prince, I don't know if you even watched it right.
Yeah.
I mean, come on. Will Smith
Well,
is just absolute gold.
If you think about what that
Rest
show,
in peace, Uncle Phil.
Yes.
rest in peace, Uncle Phil. If you think about what that show spawned, though, probably spawned the biggest actor of the '90s,
Yeah, for sure.
right?
For sure.
2000s. I mean,
He slowed down a little bit,
He did, but he's
No, I agree.
He's still pretty big.
Think about all the bangers he did after that.
Yeah.
Independence Day, All the Men in Blacks, Ali.
Yes.
You know,
Yeah.
like he was easily one of the biggest actors in. He's one of my favorite actors.
Oh, for sure.
Honestly,
Mine too. Bad Boys.
Bad
the whole
Boys.
series.
Yeah, so I love Wild Wild West. Meh.
I Am Legend.
Fun movie, not great, but still fun.
That's,
Hitch. Hitch was
Hitch
funny.
was funny, you know.
but we're talking about the show.
Well, let me say, too, again, with Friends and Boy Meets World and Fresh Prince, same cast from beginning on except for Aunt Viv.
I was gonna say,
Except for Aunt Viv.
yeah,
She changed.
and she did, and it was behind the scenes issues, whatnot.
Yeah,
but
right. But the show also dealt with a lot of real life issues. It had its serious moments.
Correct.
But if you didn't laugh hysterically through that whole show, oh my god, that's such a great show. Like, I couldn't think of a better 3 shows to start this.
Bro, Will Ferrell. That's a different.
Will Ferrell was not in the Fresh
was
Prince.
not.
No, I don't think he ever
He would
made
have
an
been great.
appearance either.
He would have been great. Will Smith had one of my favorite lines in that show. Remember, the dude got shot in the show,
Yes.
saving Carlton.
Yes.
And here's the heartwarming line from the show. I always remember, Carlton. You know how they say ain't nothing hurts like a paper cut? Yeah. He ain't never been shot before. That's a quote I always remember from that episode. But yeah, Will Smith was shot in the show. It was a really, hit, like you said, it warmed you in your cockles.
I didn't know where you were going with that.
I wasn't sure either.
But everybody, even Jeffrey.
Jeffrey was funny.
Jeffrey might have been the funniest part of the show.
He
might have been.
His one-liners were fantastic,
Yeah.
and they brought a lot of what was going on in the scene together.
Yeah.
with his banter and his quotes that he's
Always loved how DJ Jazzy Jeff would get thrown out of the house. And I remember one episode where he said, "I'm already outside," and he threw him into the house. And I thought that was hilarious as a kid.
Yes.
But, parents just don't understand.
That's
right.
Man. It's a nightmare on my street. I think we're out of things to go with those puns now.
Yeah, we're done.
So maybe we should hitch it up. All right, try it.
Yeah.
Try it.
A for effort, I think.
Yeah, all right. Well,
Are you done with that yet? Or okay, that's what I thought.
Now, why don't
Anyway,
you ruin it? Now?
so my
you
second
did good
one-
so far. Don't ruin it.
You're definitely going to be more upset about this one than anything.
Here comes
And
One Life to Live.
I am going to take That 70s Show.
You took it.
And I knew Robby was going for it.
That was my second
and he
pick.
thought he could get it in the second round, which if he would have had the third pick, he would have had it. That 70s Show.
Robbie, relax, bro.
He's
steaming.
It's just a draft.
Robbie
It's
is
okay.
bubbling now, guys.
Now, my perfect TGIF lineup can't happen now.
Well,
It can't.
no, but mine can though. Still,
Right.
So it's fine. It's that 70. What do you even say about it?
Something, please.
Again, another show. No, shut up. You know what? All right, guys, I'm out.
It had a perfect cast.
It really did.
Yeah.
Everybody was perfect in it. Kelso is everybody's favorite character.
Well, let's go around real quick.
Easy.
Everybody has to have a favorite character. So mine was Kelso when I was younger, but growing up, it either turned into Eric or Hyde.
I was going to say Hyde. I really liked his just badass attitude that he had. Just didn't give a shit about anything. And just,
but the parents were
he was
good
just
too.
always there.
The best character is easier Red.
Kitty and Red were awesome.
Red is the best character.
Yeah, everything was going in your ass with Red.
Yeah, I think Red's the best character. Now, maybe it's because I'm the grouchy old man of the crew.
Maybe.
But, like, Red
Happy
is the
57th,
best.
by the way.
Yeah, it took a while, though, but I made it. But, like, Red to me is, like, what stands out in the show. If I look back standing on what stands out of that show, now, it's not one of the ones I've seen every episode of anything, so you guys are more the authority on this.
Oh, I've seen them all a million.
But what stands out the
watched
most
it
to me is Red and Fez. I think Fez is
Fez
absolutely
is great.
hilarious. And just, like, all their interactions with him is what made the show for me when I would watch it.
Yeah. That's one of the few shows, so I own the box set of That 70s Show, and I own most of Boy Meets World as well, so that's, of course, those are my two go-to shows.
Absolutely.
But, like, that's another show that had a perfect cast, but they did not stay till the end, and that's where they started to lose me when Eric left.
True,
and Donna
Eric
left.
left.
And all that.
They held on too long. And
they did.
how deep was that? Like 8 years into it?
Well, there was 8 total.
There was 8 total
And
seasons.
I think Eric
it was
left
at the
after
end of season 7.
6. Oh, was it 7?
I think it was.
You might be right.
No. Yeah, because he ended up making an appearance in the very last episode of the final season.
Yeah.
He comes back.
They brought in Seth Green.
Really? I don't even remember this.
Yeah.
Like I said, that wasn't as big of a show for me as it was for... So I don't have a lot of input, but it's not a bad show.
Well, that's a show that me and Adam used to quote to each other all the time.
We still do on occasion.
Yeah. I've had a feeling, I was hoping I would snake it before you, but it's a solid pick, and it's a great show.
It's definitely worth a watch. And like when it pops on, it's on some of those antenna-free channels.
Oh, yeah.
Well, I have a question for you, Adam.
I have an answer.
Did you know that they're now doing that 90s show?
I did not know that.
Yes, with Kitty and Red signed back on, and it's Eric and Donna's daughter who goes to stay with Kitty and Red for the summer.
So it's like Girl Meets World.
Kind of. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
I will check it out. If it's anything like Girl Meets World, probably not going to like it. But
do you remember there was that
as long as
show?
Yes, I do. It was
There
2
was, like,
seasons.
2 seasons.
Yeah.
and
I don't remember that either.
I watched it. It was not good.
Yeah.
I didn't hate it by any means, but it didn't live up to That 70s Show.
Yeah.
It might have been a little too early.
I think
too.
so.
It was. I think it was going on when That 70s Show was happening. Still,
It was.
So it was kind of like
It was Eric's cousin something. I can't remember the premise of it. But
I just remember. I think it was the dad was in a show that I used to watch called Unhappily Ever After with Nikki Cox.
Oh, really?
That was a show that I
okay.
liked. It's not on my list.
Okay.
But I remember watching that show and seeing that dad, but the show never stuck.
Well, now I got to pull my list out now that my number 2 show's gone. But anyways, is there anything else you guys
put
want
him
to
on the
talk about
spot.
this
Now
great show?
Robbie's going to have to
It is a fantastic show.
A lot of our stuff's going to overlap.
I don't think I'm going to like that 90s show. I mean, maybe.
Why not? That's when I grew up.
If Kitty and Red can bring it
Think
together,
about it-
then maybe.
Think
but
about it like this: we didn't get the experience like some people got with That 70s Show, where that 70s Show was a good cast and funny written jokes, but we didn't feel any of that nostalgia.
True.
Where like
you're right.
Even if like the jokes are half as funny in that 90s show, we're gonna laugh our asses off with the nostalgia.
I mean, I'm already lost. I didn't even know Eric and Donna had a daughter. So.
Well, I think it's just in lore with this show coming up.
Yeah.
Right.
Because it's 20 years later.
Right, because they don't mention it.
Yeah.
I mean, like I said, Eric makes an appearance in the very last 30 seconds of the final show of the final season.
Spoiler alert.
Okay, listen, if you haven't seen this yet, I don't feel bad for you.
That's a solid.
Well, actually, I kind of do feel bad for you for not seeing it, but spoiler alert.
Well, now that you threw a wrench into Robbie's gears.
I did. Let's see. I want to see what he picks next.
Well, I'm going even more old school. I'm not even in the 90s for my next one.
Okay.
I Love Lucy.
Ooh.
Yeah. I Love Lucy is one of my favorite shows of all time. Do you guys want to crack those before I keep talking?
I'm still...
I was going to kind of crack it while you were talking, but yeah. You know.
Our personal chef just dropped off some more ciders.
Get back in the kitchen.
Guys, what are we got to cut that out. It's 2021.
So, I Love Lucy is one of my favorite shows of all time. I grew up watching every single episode on Nick at Night when Nick at Night did the old black and white shows with my grandmother, and we would watch them all night Friday, all night Saturday. I've seen every episode of I Love Lucy. I fell asleep watching I Love Lucy last night. I love this show. She was a comedic genius long before women were comedians. And in general, for that time period, one of the funniest people on television. And to this day, I watch the episodes and I'll laugh out loud. Like, it's funny. And Ricky Ricardo couldn't have been a better counterpart. And of course, they were actually married, so that helps.
Well, such a straight man to her insanity, right? And that's what you look for. Now I Love Lucy is probably one of my dad's favorite shows. It's the same thing, you know, we're around the same age, like same thing. Go to my dad's house, and we would watch Nick at Night all night. My dad was like ahead of the curve when it came to things. My dad would record every episode at Nick at Night every night. Different tapes. He'd have his I Love Lucy tape and his like whatever else was on there. What like
Happy Days.
Happy Days.
I Dream of Jeannie.
I Dream of Jeannie. There was
Bewitched.
that one.
Well, I was just gonna say Bewitched. Yep.
Bewitched, and then that one where he was the Get Smart.
Get Smart. Yeah.
My dad would always like record all those, but different tapes. It's like the show would be over. He'd run up, pull the VHS out, put the next one in. But Taxi.
Welcome Back, Kotter.
Yep,
but
right.
our generation grew up at a time where at night those old shows would come on and we were watching them with our families, right?
Yep.
Now Nick at Night plays SpongeBob. Like, it's not the same.
Here's the thing,
you
Robby.
know?
When we were watching those shows with our parents in 1996,
right?
20 years ago was like Taxi and Happy Days. Guess how old SpongeBob is?
No, I get it.
So it's like,
I get it, but there's just a different level of like this classic show as compared to like this cartoon. You know what I mean? Like, there could be any different shows that they could put on Nick at Night besides a cartoon. Is what I'm saying. Like, it was a family event. Like, sit down and watch this with me. This is what I grew up on, kind of stuff.
No, you're right.
Know, like,
and it was, we got to feel, but there was also deeper nostalgia because Lucy was from like the 50s.
The 50s, right?
So that's even. Yeah. We're not even giving Lucy her justice. The episodes, I mean, the classic one of the chocolate.
The chocolates,
on the conveyor belt. That's always the first episode that I always think of when I think of I Love Lucy.
Well, that's actually still
one.
on TV. I think it was 2 Thanksgivings ago. It was like a big deal because it was on CBS.
Well, they just hit the 70th anniversary of I Love Lucy this year.
Did they?
And now they're making a movie called Being the Ricardos. And it's about Lucy and Ricky.
And she was like funny as hell. My dad loved her into the 80s, like on like Tonight Show and stuff. My dad would always like watch old tapes of that and stuff, and like she reminded me because of like her hair and my grandmother, my father's mother. Like that's what she reminded me of. Just the way they look, but that's the same age probably.
The Vitamina Vegemin episode was one of my favorites. I'm telling, if anybody, obviously we have younger listeners, like if you guys haven't seen it, the crowd's going wild. If you guys haven't seen it, seriously, check it out. It's on Hulu. Like, you can literally watch it on Hulu. So, like, go and watch it, and I guarantee you will laugh.
Yeah.
It's really good.
It is a funny show, and it's easily something you can watch with the kids.
Absolutely.
You know, it's something you can watch with the parents. Christ, your great-grandparents at this point.
Yeah, right.
Sadly, like you said, 70 years old now.
Yeah, well, Lucy passed away in 1989.
She didn't even make the 90s.
Great year.
Right. Yeah.
Throwing that in there.
And I don't know, it was just like when I visited her gravesite.
Tell everybody where you just went.
Oh my God, it's in Jamestown, and that's where she grew up.
New York.
Yeah,
it's about
Jamestown,
an hour from Buffalo. Guys.
I forget that I have listeners all over the place, and I just say words. But I was kind of emotional, like when I got to her grave, because like I had all these flashbacks of watching I Love Lucy with my grandmother, and like, oh man, it's such a great experience. If you get a chance to go there and see her house and her grave and the statues.
Did you go to the museum?
No. So I still have to do that.
I know in Jamestown they have her grave and all this stuff, and then they have, well, it's not just a Lucy museum, it's like the National Comedy Museum. But it's based around her because she's from Jamestown, New York. Like Adam said, an hour outside of Buffalo. So definitely a pioneer. I'm surprised you went there, but that's a great choice.
Thank you. And now we go back to you to bring in your second choice,
which is still not my favorite show of all time.
Really? You're going to let it go again?
There's a reason.
You're going to let it go again.
There's a reason.
Because Adam's going to pick it.
I might.
No, I got two.
Take it.
I got 2 picks in a row, guys.
That's true.
Oh,
Chill
good point.
your horses.
Good point.
So, arguably, now Robby's not going to like this. He might argue with me, but arguably, it is the most successful or most loved sitcom comedy show of all time.
I think I know where you're going with this one.
It's going with Seinfeld.
I knew it.
I knew you were going to take that
go
one.
With Seinfeld.
Yep.
Talk about another perfect cast that was there for the end. I don't remember in my lifetime a bigger last episode than the Seinfeld last episode. There was like a 2-hour like lead-in of like Seinfeld memories for the show coming up.
Yeah.
And the last episode was funny. It delivered. They all got arrested for some bullshit, which was hilarious.
Yeah.
There's so many memories of that show. Come on, Kramer and George and Elaine. But then you got like
No Soup for You.
no the Soup Nazi. I don't know if that's kosher to say, but I mean that was his name.
That was his name on the show.
Based on a real person.
Yep.
Yeah.
And he sued Seinfeld.
Did he really?
Yeah,
Wow.
because he was
Yeah,
based
actually
on a
did.
real person. But like, there were so many great actors in that show. Like, I forget his name off the top of my head, but the dentist.
Yeah,
that was
yeah.
Bryan Cranston.
Yeah.
And then went on to do a show that might be on your list. You know, Malcolm in the Middle, and then probably like a lot of people say the greatest television show of all time, of Breaking Bad.
Okay.
Like
yeah.
Bryan Cranston, and then Putty, who is Joe Swanson on Family Guy,
Right.
and Rules of Engagement. Patrick Warburton is his name.
Rules of Engagement is an amazing show.
Amazing show.
Amazing show.
Amazing
so
show.
if that's on somebody's list, I'm sorry that I just threw it out.
Amazing show. It's hard to. I know you're not a big Seinfeld fan.
Well,
but
here's the thing, though.
Oh, sorry. I thought you were done.
I do like Seinfeld, and I think it belongs on anybody's list.
Completely agree.
I will say it didn't make mine just because I'm so passionate about the ones that I did pick, but it's a great show.
I agree with that statement. I was, if it would have came back to me, I would have taken it. In this round.
Okay. So you
Or
did
in my
snake
next
it from-
round, I was thinking about it. I had it in my head. I'm like, man, I don't know. I kind of had a feeling that you would take that one. I actually, my first, I thought you would have taken that one over Friends.
I mean, that was up for debate. But to me, I mean, Friends might not be as big and popular as Seinfeld, but it's not about that. I think it's the better show.
Yeah.
I do
agree.
think it's the better show.
Yeah.
And now is there anything else you want to say about Seinfeld? Because I'm going to transition. Anyway.
No, go
Do you
ahead.
have a
okay with
favorite? Do you have a favorite character in Seinfeld?
So when I was younger, I would have said Kramer, but I think it's George.
I was just going to say,
And
George is mine too.
yeah.
I love George.
George is the best.
I loved the episode of These Pretzels Are Making Me Thirsty. Oh my god. If you guys don't know what we're talking about, I think it's streaming on Netflix.
So I believe Seinfeld is, yes.
5 words. 5 words that will live in infamy. I was in the pool.
Yeah.
I was in the pool. and I always have this random, this is just random character that might last an episode, live on for infamy. Like, I remember, them having problems getting haircuts, so they were going to this, underground barber from Italy, and it just, he talked in an Italian accent, and I'm Italian, so I can make fun of the accents. It's okay, folks. And then I just remember he was talking about, I just seen it in a movie, Edward Scissorhands. That Johnny Depp, he making me cry. It's like the funniest thing, to me and a certain group of friends. Seinfeld is just so memorable, and I have tons of memories of watching Monday through Friday. 11 o'clock was the news. 11:30 on the Fox affiliate was Seinfeld. Mm-hmm. And me and my mother would watch it every night. Maybe it was 10 and 10:30. It might have been that.
Yeah.
10 and 10:30. And then at 10:30 we'd watch Seinfeld and laugh our asses off. And then at 11 o'clock, my favorite show of all time would come on right after, and that was Frasier.
Oh my god.
And Frasier
he
is,
picks Frasier
to me,
wow.
I can't
Okay.
like a show ever more than I like Frasier. And I know it's not everyone's cup of tea, because a lot of people, watch it, and they don't get the jokes for some of the jokes, but you're not supposed to.
Yeah.
There's jokes to laugh with them, and then there's jokes to laugh at them.
Right.
And those, more snooty, rich, I'm super smart jokes, that's to laugh at those characters.
Yeah.
Now, a lot of things some people don't even realize that the longest running sitcom star of all time is Frasier Crane.
Oh, okay. Well, because he was in Cheers.
He was on Cheers
Yeah.
for 10 years.
Yeah.
And then he had his own show for 10 years.
Not to be confused with Brendan Fraser, who's on my shirt right now.
Brendan Fraser's
True.
a great, great actor. But so Kelsey Grammer played that role for 20 straight years.
Yes.
On 2 of the biggest shows of all, Cheers is one of the biggest shows of all time. And Frasier is just, I have so much love. The interplay between him and his snooty brother, and then his everyday man of the people father,
Yeah, right.
is the greatest. And then the wild, foreign nurse that's there with Daphne, and his producer, and laughing at their snobbiness, in the coffee shops or the fancy restaurants. And then when they put them in the fish out of water scenarios, when they're at the sports bar with their father,
Yeah.
and their facials they give, and just the interplay between them. And then the whole will they, won't they thing you had with Friends, with Niles'
Yeah.
obsession for Daphne.
Yeah.
And it's just, to me, I know that there's so many more popular picks, but Frasier's my favorite show of all time.
So, I'm not a huge fan of Frasier. I've watched it, but I haven't watched it enough to weigh in enough on everything you're saying, so I can't really say, hey, great pick, but you're right. It was on for 10 years.
10 years.
And he was on Cheers, so he was doing something right that people love.
Yeah, and they brought it over. So that premise, he lives in Boston with Cheers, and that's why he was there, and then they made it perfect. The premise was he got a new job in Seattle.
Right.
And that's why he was there. And like every so often, like Sam Malone would show up, but his wife, she would show up all the time, his ex-wife, and their kid, it came over, and it was just like, it was well played. I like Cheers, but Frasier, to me, it just made me and my mother laugh so much, and it's just like happy times, like you said, and like, it's on the Cock, if you ever want to watch it. It's on Peacock.
Oh, okay.
It is
He meant Peacock.
It is on the Cock.
For all your listeners
to me,
out there
I just
who
love
are
that
in
show
the
so
gutter.
much. And like, if you guys are sitting there thinking like, I don't get the jokes, you're not going to get some of the jokes. You're not supposed to.
Well, I'm kind of going to take my third pick here into... I was debating this one because I had a couple that I was flip-flopping between. And as you can see, there's no numbers here. I just put a bunch of sitcoms in my phone, and I'm going to pick from them. This one is in newer as far as like more recent years.
Newark, New Jersey?
Newark, yeah.
Oh,
no.
Nice.
It's been on more recently, but it has been on for a lot of years now.
We're old, so more recently might mean like 97, folks. Hang on here.
Is it still on TV?
Is Disturbed a new band?
I think it is. Yeah. So my number 3 is actually Last Man Standing with Tim Allen.
Nice.
Wow. Yeah. So this show, the first time I saw it, I laughed so fucking hard I couldn't breathe. I love Tim Allen.
Yes.
Like, it just in general. Like, I loved Home Improvement. So naturally, when I saw Last Man Standing was coming out, I had to watch
And I just want to point out, you picked that above Home Improvement.
I did.
So Adam has a chance to snake it from you again.
That's true.
I do, but
I gotta say,
it is not on my list.
This show is just fucking hilarious. It's the reverse Home Improvement.
Completely.
He's got, 3 daughters instead of 3 boys, and he does the cameos with the people from Home Improvement, his wife and Al Borland and all that stuff. They all have cameos on the show. But Tim Allen...
I'm repping the Al Borland.
You are. And Tim Allen has a way of delivering lines like no other that are just one-liners that will just make you crack up. And the premise is he's the owner of a store, and he does the advertisements, and he's trying to basically raise his family, and he's got 3 daughters that are all completely different, just like Home Improvement, but 10 times funnier. The one daughter's boyfriend, Kyle, is just the biggest idiot. And it just makes for the interactions between him and Tim Allen are just like gold. I can't even explain it. You have to watch the show. I'm not sure where it's streaming. It was on Netflix for a while, but I think they pulled it and put it on something else.
I'm guessing it's probably on one of the ones that Peacock or...
It's got to be, yeah.
HBO Plus, maybe. I don't know. They got all kinds of streaming stuff.
I think it just ended.
I think
you
so.
were saying like you weren't sure, but I think it's over now.
Yeah,
only I had something in my hands that I could look it up to see where it's
put
streaming.
it away. Nobody wants to see that.
My phone, Chaz.
Oh, Jesus.
God.
That's what he's saying. Nobody wants to see your phone. You can leave the other thing.
Oh.
I'm surprised you went with that over Home Improvement.
Yeah.
So, like, you still have a chance to take it. I bet Adam has a chance to take it.
No,
That's
I
true.
have 2 on my list
Well,
that
Adam
are
said
not
he's not
that.
taking
So
it. Are
I
you
am
gonna
not
take
going to
it?
take that.
It's on my short list, and I don't have...
Because if you're not going to take it, we should talk about it now. Because I'm not going to take it.
All right. Let's talk about it right now.
Okay.
Home Improvement.
It's got to be talked about.
Oh, my God.
I love that show.
One of the best shows of all time in the history of shows. Everybody, again, played perfectly. Same cast from beginning to end. The neighbor, Wilson. So you can only see his
my
eyes.
favorite
You can
part.
only see his eyes, and that was Wilson, and it was fantastic.
And it spawned one of the bigger heartthrobs of the 90s with JTT, Jonathan Taylor
I thought you
Thomas.
meant Tim Allen.
Well, he was too.
He was on the Tiger Beats.
First of all, Tim Allen, Jungle to Jungle, his stand-up comedy,
Santa
Santa
Claus.
Claus.
I was going to say,
Buzz
movie.
Lightyear.
you're not
Yep.
winning with Jungle to Jungle.
No,
That's the first one you went with?
I was building up.
Yo, Jungle to Jungle.
It was
low
hilarious.
key really good.
Kid's
though.
name,
Very funny.
stood for cat piss. I'm
Yeah.
just saying. I'm just saying. But
Real quick, looks like you can stream it on Hulu or YouTube TV.
perfect.
There you go.
There we
Last
go.
Man Standing, and then
And you're right. It
you
did
go.
end, I think, because I remember them saying they were filming the last of it.
Well, they made such a big controversy during the election and everything.
Yeah, I know.
So it's just
his
like
political views.
No, so
and
what?
stuff.
Like I don't care anybody's
Me either.
political views. It's
Me either.
like the show's funny.
Can we just say that the Santa Claus is one of the best Christmas movies of all time?
No,
also,
no, that's coming from a '90s kid.
yeah,
very
course.
good
Yeah.
cast in that.
Right.
Very good. Third greatest Christmas movie of all time.
Very good.
So we're going.
All right,
that could be a
all
different
right,
episode.
yeah.
easy.
We're gonna fight about this.
That could
Hey.
be a different episode.
Christmas is coming.
We're gonna fight about this in December. Right now, we're talking Home Improvement,
Right.
Last Man Standing.
So you're sticking with Last Man Standing.
I'm sticking with Last Man Standing. I love Home Improvement.
I mean, I feel those shows could almost be lumped together, but
They're very close.
It doesn't sound like it's going to get on anybody's list, so it is on my list, but it's not going to be one I take.
But Home Improvement, much like Last Man Standing, Tim Allen is very good at taking situations, making them funny, but keeping them serious at the same time, and teaching you a lesson about life. And I think that makes a good sitcom. If you look at what I have right now, Boy Meets World, I Love Lucy, Last Man Standing, they all have that in common. And I think those are just the kind of shows that I naturally gravitate towards, because I like that, yeah, I'm going to laugh, but it teaches you real life shit.
Well, it's funny you say that, because looking at my shows right now...
You have a lot of shows about nothing.
No, Friends, Seinfeld, and Frasier, they're more adult-oriented.
They are definitely more on the adult side of
where I am now in life. They're, well, not necessarily Frasier, but he didn't have his kid in the show. So all these are like young adults. They're mostly single. They mostly don't have kids. It's not a family sitcom.
Right.
It's You know what I mean? So it's like, that's where I grew up in life.
Right.
You know, like I'm 35 with no children. I have a cat. She rocks. But it's like...
I'm going to have a lot of honorable mentions. I'm looking at my list.
I have a ton of honorable mentions.
We can bring up the honorable mentions, but go ahead, Adam. Go and pick your third
My
pick.
third round pick. I don't know if you guys...
It's not Home Improvement.
No, it's not Home Improvement. I'm going to go with How I Met Your Mother.
Oh, good show.
Really?
I love that show.
That
absolutely love that show.
That shocks me. Not because it's a bad show, but just I didn't expect that from you.
For me?
Yeah.
My next one is you're going to like, but we're going to... How I Met Your Mother is hilarious. I absolutely love Neil Patrick Harris, and he makes that show for me. He's literally the reason why I got hooked to that show. Mm-hmm. But everybody else was great too. Like Ted's great, and I mean Bob Saget as your narrator is fantastic.
The girls are great too.
Yeah,
like
Kobe Smulders and Allison Hannigan are great.
They're all super funny.
Jason Siegel.
Oh my god,
Jason Siegel's
hilarious.
He's great,
and he's mainly the straight man in that show,
which is odd.
That's just not him. Where I'm not trying to play off of it, where Neil Patrick Harris is not the straight man. We get it. He's gay. He's usually like the straight kind of actor.
Yes.
Well, not in Harold and Kumar, of course.
Oh my god, I love those.
But that's kind of what brought him into that role, I feel.
Yeah, for sure.
Because it's a funny dichotomy, knowing his personal life, knowing that he's an openly gay married man, and he's such a womanizer.
And
not like an abuser, but just like a serial single guy dater.
Yeah, right.
It's so funny.
I do love the episodes that go through how he became that way.
Yeah.
Later on in the seasons as they go on, you find out how Barney Stinson was created.
Yes. Yeah, I remember those, yeah.
Absolutely hysterical and couldn't have been played by anybody better.
No, he does make the show.
Mm-hmm.
He does make the show, but it is weird that Jason Siegel is the straight guy in there. He's usually the goofball.
And Jason Siegel is funny in his own right.
Oh.
But Neil Patrick Harris in this show just takes
he's the star.
He is the absolute star of the show.
I'm drawing a blank on the two girls' names in the show. Robin.
It's Robin and Lily. Lily is
the redhead one.
Yes, she gets married to Marshall. And then Robin was the one that
the news anchor from Canada.
Yes. Yeah.
She is so
Kobe
funny
Smulders is
in
great.
that show.
Yes.
She's the one that Neil makes the show, but if it wasn't for her, I don't think it would have lasted that.
Well, there's a lot of between those two also.
Yeah.
There's a lot between them.
And that's a show though that came out just in a time I was not into TV. I'm still not into TV.
Yeah.
So it was just that show probably came out when I was 20.
Which is weird because you have a TV that takes up your whole fucking house.
Come at me, bro. I play a lot of Fortnite on there. I watch some Bills games. But to me, she was always the thing that stood out in that show. Her Canadian backstory and how they lay into it all.
Yes. Yeah.
I just love that show. There's a couple of shows that connects to for me in my mind. Maybe the same time frame. I have a feeling you might be bringing one of them up. Maybe not though. Is it the same time frame your next show?
It's it's a little bit newer.
Should we let them segue into it?
Yeah, we can go on to the next one. This is my fourth pick, right? So my last round pick, and Robby, you're gonna really appreciate this one.
Yeah.
New Girl.
That was my next pick.
Hey girl, what you doing? Hey girl, where you going?
That was my next pick.
As good as How I Met Your Mother was, New Girl is absolutely fantastic, and there was no season that I didn't like.
To be fair, it's on my list too.
It is hilarious.
Yeah. Love that show.
And Jake Johnson as Nick Miller is...
Can we just say real quick who your favorite characters are on the show?
I love Nick Miller, but give me Schmidt, and I'm in, dude.
Nope, Nick Miller's mine.
But Nick Miller, he makes the show for me as well.
Flies under the radar, though, is Winston.
Agreed.
He's very funny.
Winston is very funny,
Yeah.
but Winston doesn't get funny until
Later.
a couple seasons in.
Yeah.
We ain't even the original either.
No.
Coach.
Coach
is the original.
Coach is hilarious, too.
Coach is funny. He ends. For those of you who have seen it, you obviously know he moves to New York. He's off the show, and you get Winston.
Right.
That's about the time that Winston really becomes funny.
Right.
Is when Coach is gone. I love it. I will watch this show a million times over, and it's probably, along with my other 3 that I picked, I will sit down and watch these
over and over
and over and over and over.
It might
again.
New Girl might be a little older than 10 years old, but to me, even if it's 12 years old, it's the best show to come out in the past 10 to 12 years.
10 years
I agree.
old, actually.
Okay, so it's 10 years old?
2011.
So I was going to say, it feels like it's the funniest show in the last decade.
Oh my! I totally
Absolutely.
agree. I totally agree. It was on
Absolutely.
my list. I probably should have.
By
picked...
the way, nobody mentioned fucking Zooey Deschanel.
Oh, yeah.
Fantastic.
I just want to.
I know the show revolves around her, but the guys steal it.
Agreed, and especially Nick Miller. If you didn't have Nick Miller in this show, the show's not funny.
See,
if you didn't have Nick Miller in the show, the show is just.
You do need them all, yeah.
You do need them all,
Could
yes.
you just imagine not the interplay between Schmidt and Cece?
Right.
True.
Right.
It's just like that.
See, I messed up. You guys wouldn't have taken I Love Lucy. I should have put the new girl there and
See,
picked
you don't know how
Lucy
to
last.
draft, bro. You just took like a quarterback in the second round. In the
Chazz and I are the
did.
experienced drafters here. we're Robbie's learning still.
I knew you guys were going to take Frasier. That's why I waited on him.
That's true. You were safe there.
He's my number 1
Yeah.
pick. New
But no.
Girl was on my list. Absolutely. 100%.
Speaking of the shows that we quote often to each other, this is the one that we go back and forth with.
Absolutely.
Just GIFs, or GIFs, however you want to say it. GIFs and quotes.
Who says
and,
GIF?
I don't know.
Nobody says GIF.
There's somebody out there that says it that way.
Okay, so,
believe me.
so for Christmas, do those people buy GIFs? Is that what they buy?
Maybe.
Is that what happens?
Depends on where you're from.
People are insane. You're insane out there. Full of
Anyway,
Jack Black
That's
there.
just, okay. So back to the new girl. Real
So I
quick.
took 2 of Robbie's
Yeah.
shows.
Yes, that is a solid pick, though, and I agree with what you said, Chaz, that it is the best show to come out in the last decade.
I mean,
100%.
come on.
I've seen every episode 3 times already.
Easily.
Yeah. So
I watch it any chance I get.
I used to, I would alternate, though. I loved Nick Miller.
Yep.
And then I was obsessed with Schmidt.
Yep.
And then all of a sudden you're like, well, Winston's pretty good. And then I'm back to Nick Miller.
Yep.
But I think Nick Miller's
Totally
my guy.
Oh my goodness!
I
I
really
can't
do.
get over.
Can I? One character that I really love, and he's not in it a lot, but do you remember?
Tell me it's Justin Long's character.
Justin Long is great,
so
but
good.
I love Dr. Sam.
Oh, yeah, Dr. Sam. Holy shit.
Is hilarious. And he has made an appearance in a couple movies that I've seen, and he's
Dude.
hilarious. And Dr. Sam in this, and they brought him back a couple times.
Yeah, yeah.
And oh man, it was just.
But Justin Long's character,
But Justin
though.
Long's character is
First of all, I love Justin Long.
incredible. Yes, Justin
I thought
Long
he would
is
be
awesome.
a bigger star.
And I do.
He did okay.
I thought he'd be a bigger
Okay,
star.
I love the fact that Jamie Lee Curtis was
Her mom, yeah.
Jesse's
Zoe's
mom.
Yeah, yeah.
Are you kidding me?
I know. I love that. I forgot about that.
The people that they brought into that show to guest star or make an appearance in were just absolute
Can we just talk
fantastic.
about real quick the episode with Justin Long where they're about to have sex and she's trying to be dirty and she's like, "We should role play," and he starts doing Jimmy Stewart. Oh my god, I'm Jimmy Stewart. She's like, "I'm gonna split you like a log."
Again, because you're saying Winston's underrated. We're underrating Jess.
That's true.
Zoe Deschanel is
it's-
fantastic.
It's
yes.
tough because
But
obviously every episode revolves around her.
True.
But at the same time, the guys do steal it sometimes.
They do.
You know?
Well, spoiler alert: she stars in the greatest Christmas movie of all time. I'm just saying.
all right, take it easy.
All right, we're gonna fight over this.
Future
We are
reference,
definitely
folks.
gonna fight.
Future reference. I might change
So-
my mind, but she's.
We could literally go on about New Girl.
I think New
for
Girl's
the rest
super
of the hour.
underrated because here's the thing. Maybe because we're old fucks right now,
Yeah.
and it's a 10-year-old show. Did anybody watch it on TV?
Yes, I did.
You did?
Yes,
Absolutely did.
I
I watched it every single time.
I watched. I don't even know what it was on.
I DVR'd it every week.
I never DVR'd it, but I did watch it basically live, the next maybe year. It was always on Netflix.
I believe it was
Yeah.
on Fox.
It was always on Netflix.
It was not.
If I remember correctly.
Was it Fox or
It was
ABC?
either
See,
Fox
I'm
or ABC.
saying, I can't.
I did
remember.
watch it on TV.
I watched it on
think-
TV as well.
I remember maybe DVRing some of the later episodes, but I was catching up on Netflix.
Well, that and Last Man Standing were on back to back.
so I wasn't watching TV.
Okay, all right.
That's on me, but I love that show.
I got to look at my list now,
Yeah,
guys.
New Girl
Because
is
that was my pick.
probably I agree with that. The top show of the last 10
years.
Absolutely.
Although Robby took Last Man Standing first, so he only has himself to blame.
True, he does. And he also took I Love Lucy, so he kind of...
I got one for you.
And
guys.
Girl Meets World.
Robbie, your last pick.
I got one for you guys for nostalgia purposes right now. This wasn't even part of TGIF. It wasn't like a normal sitcom. We're talking Teen Nick. We're talking Kenan and Kel.
Oh,
yeah,
that was on my list. I was gonna take it, but I had to take How I Met Your Mother and then New Girl. Kenan and Kel. I was going to go with Kenan and Kel.
Overall,
yes,
well,
that was my honorable
the debate
mention.
just now.
I have a couple honorable mentions, and Kenan and Kel was definitely one.
I was looking. I was like, do I say all that? Do I say Kenan and Kel? But Kenan and Kel made me laugh just a little bit more.
Agreed. All that was fun.
Yes, but they were my favorite part of all that.
Yeah. But Kenan and Kel was.
Lori Beth Denberg was your favorite part. Of
No. I mean,
come on. What about Pierre Escargot?
This is if she don't know Who Loves Orange Soda, she's too young for you, bro.
That's right, dude.
Pierre Escargot.
That's right, bro.
Teaching you how to speak.
Because Kel loves orange soda.
What happened to him, bro?
You're talking about fucking Repairman, man.
Yes. Right. So we're talking about all that right now.
And,
not Kenan and Kel. Well, they were sketchy.
Right.
Welcome to Good Burger, home of the Good Burger.
Great spin-off.
Great movie. Absolutely.
Yeah. Kel was also in Mystery Men.
Yes.
But then he was just
He was the Invisible Man.
He was.
And
who couldn't be
invisible unless nobody was looking at him.
I thought Kenan and Kel was great.
I loved it.
Again, though, Kenan's parents were perfect for that role. Especially the father. Like, that dude was hilarious. Hilarious. So
I don't know Kenan and Kel as much as I know all that.
If you can find it to stream, watch it.
What did we watch on Snick? Was it Kenan and Kel, all that? Are You Afraid of the Dark?
Figure It Out was on there, I think, at one point.
No, that was on during the day. Snick was at
Roundhouse.
night.
No, I know, but
I don't remember that.
I could have swore that because they use all the same characters. I thought they kept.
Well, you're talking about
together.
Snick, right?
Yeah, isn't that what all those were on?
Yeah, on Nickelodeon. Roundhouse was after all that. Roundhouse was like a Saturday Night Live.
Yeah.
But it was they would push the scenes in and out and do a dance routine and be.
Wasn't it Salute Your Shorts?
Salute Your Shorts.
That was on there at some point. Hey Dude.
Those are just Nickelodeon shows. Those weren't.
Yeah, but they were at some
Snick,
point. I think they were at.
It was called Snick, right?
It's called Snick.
Snick at Night.
That was Saturday Night.
Saturday Night Nickelodeon.
Right. Wasn't Clarissa Explains It All on there for a minute?
Yeah,
I think it was.
And
was Sabrina was on there?
TGIF.
That was a TGIF one.
That was a great show.
That was a great show. It's in my honorable mentions.
Yeah, Sabrina was a great show. Yeah.
Salem was great.
Salem was great.
He was the best part. Ants were awesome.
Well, we're doing honorable mentions now. After I said Kenan and Kel, and you didn't even pick your fourth one.
I know.
I just want to say this.
Good segue into the final pick of the draft.
Other than Boy Meets World,
Mr. Irrelevant.
Other than Boy Meets World, the original idea was say let's draft our ultimate TGIF. There's no TGIF shows on this list.
I don't think so.
Other than maybe Boy Meets World, which I'm not sure.
Well, we did specify in the beginning that we said we wanted something that we would just 2-hour block of TV shows that we have to go watch.
I'd have to look it up, but I think Last Man Standing was part of the
because TGIF
it was done by then.
Done by 95.
No, Boy Meets World was on until 2001, bro.
But it doesn't mean it was on TGIF.
It was.
It definitely was.
But it doesn't mean in 2001 was on TGIF.
No, it was. That's what I'm saying.
No, because TGIF didn't last as long.
In my later years, I remember watching TGIF when the Boy Meets World cast was in.
TGIF might have went longer, but it didn't go into Last Man Standing. I know that when I was still a younger.
It definitely went into all of Boy Meets World, though. All of it.
I'll take your word for it, but Adam's looking it up. All right. I don't know, man. New Girl was going to be my last pick, too.
Yes.
And here's me who's like, we didn't...
So, you guys heard that. You know who the real winner is.
No, this one is... It's probably not going to hit as many notes for some people, but it was really a show I remember watching every week, maybe with my mother, maybe with not. I think it was on ABC. And the show, to me, still stands up. It's the Drew Carey Show.
Oh my god!
Oh,
that was one of my favorite shows.
That is a low-key, really, really good pick.
That is...
Oswald was my favorite, and the feud with Mimi. I could not wait to watch Drew Carey. That might have been a TGIF show for a minute.
It might have been. It seems a little too adult, though.
It was so good.
I love that show. I have so many memories of that show.
Yeah.
When they were trying to get him to move and they kept blasting Panama.
Yes. Yes.
and they were living there. Obviously, Buzz Beer, which we kind of started drinking with those hard coffees.
Oh, yeah.
Buzz Beer. Yeah. It's a thing now.
Yep.
My favorite memory, and then Mr. Wick.
Oh, my God.
Craig Ferguson is absolutely one of my favorite stand-up comedians. Funny. And he had, without a question... not Jimmy Fallon, not Jimmy Kimmel, the best late night show
for sure.
run ever.
For sure.
Craig
And you know
Kilborn.
I love Jimmy Fallon,
Yeah.
but he was...
Craig Ferguson with the horse and with the skeleton. Like, he was just... That guy is one of my favorite people in the world. So Drew Carey's show, like you said, Mimi, Oswald, Lewis. One of the biggest memory that sticks in my head is the times that they had Joe Walsh guest star
Yes.
on it. He was so funny, and I'm not a big Eagles fan or anything like that, or a Joe Walsh fan. But, like, just I have this one memory when we didn't mention Kate. Kate was part of it.
Kate, yeah.
But he was in Drew's office, and Mimi was there talking to Drew, and then she walked away, and then somebody mentioned her, and he was like, "Oh, you guys saw her too?" To me, it was like he was having like a trip. I thought to me that sticks out. Like, I loved that show so much.
Me too.
And I it's on some of like the older like TV shows that kind of like repeat. So Drew Carey, like, it deserves more than an honorable mention.
That is the biggest underrated pick of the day.
Totally
and I really urge people to try and find somewhere to watch it because it is fantastic. And then, of course, they did the spin-off with Whose Line Is It Anyway? And oh my God.
That was
fantastic. Even better.
Yeah.
Fantastic.
Well, I don't know if it was better.
Well, it wasn't better. It wasn't better, but it was different. And
It
but
did have
it was,
Wayne Brady.
It didn't suck.
Wayne
Let's put it that way.
Right. Wayne
a
Brady
spin-off
is
that didn't
hilarious.
suck.
Oh, Wayne Brady's fantastic.
I love Wayne Brady.
And just the improv. Who's Line Is It Anyway, if you don't know, it's just an improv show.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah.
Drew
Where everything's made up and the points don't matter.
Correct.
I love it. So, like, another show that I'll get the first honorable mention for me, at least, that I hold very high with Drew Carey's show, and it was at the same time, it might have been right there, right after, is Spin City with Michael J. Fox.
Absolutely love it.
Very good.
And when Charlie Sheen replaced him. Both of them.
That also might have been a TGIF show.
Maybe.
Yeah.
I feel like it was more during the week, though.
I will tell you, though, Spin City, super underrated. I can't remember the actor who
David
played the
Spade?
mayor.
No, Spin City is Michael J. Fox.
Oh, Michael J. Fox.
Yeah. Barry
There was
Bostwick.
another one that was with David
Hilarious.
Spade. That was,
Barry Bostwick was in
David Spade was Rules of Engagement.
Rules of Engagement.
Yeah,
It's a great show.
Just Shoot Me was the other one.
Oh,
That was
yeah.
David Spade as well.
He was great with that, too.
Yeah. So it looks like... Okay,
That's a great
so
pull, Spin City.
according to
That
this,
almost made it.
Yeah.
TGIF ran 3 separate times.
Oh, okay.
Started in 1989 and ended in 2000. Picked back up in 2003 to 2005. Third run was 2018 to 2019.
So that's
what we're looking for your TGIF lineups.
So it did end in 2000, the original time.
Another one of my favorite shows that I don't think you guys like, but I just killed me was 30 Rock with Tina Fey.
That's a great show.
Baldwin.
That was
That's
a
a
good
great
show.
show.
I didn't watch a whole lot of that show,
I
but the
still
ones
watch
that
it
I
from
did,
time to
but it
time.
was good.
And Will Arnett. I just the one line. one line. Alec Baldwin goes, "Revenge," or no, Will Arnett says, "Revenge is a dish best served cold, like pizza. You prefer cold pizza to hot pizza? That's insane."
Why don't we do this? You already named them honorable mention. Let's do 3 each, because we literally name honorable mentions forever.
And we already did.
And we
did
already named a
during the
bunch
show.
already during the show. Spin City is one of yours.
30.
30
Rock
was
is another one.
Was another one of mine. And
Give us your last honorable
And
mention.
then, and we mentioned it earlier, so I'll pivot to say, you mentioned earlier making fun of me, but my favorite show when I was a little kid was Elf.
I was just going to say Elf for one of my
Sure,
honorable
should.
mentions.
Come on, Willie and trying to eat
Yeah.
the cat. He looked so good.
Okay, but this is how good Elf is that my son, who's 11, likes it now.
It's
It's
super good.
so good.
Can anyone talk like Elf?
No.
I don't think so.
But I love that show. I had a stuffed elf when I was a kid. You probably did too.
I did too.
You know, anybody who was born in the 80s probably had a
I
stuffed
have
elf.
the
I think
complete
so.
series
You're
on DVD.
probably right.
Not even open, bro.
Really?
Wow.
It streams
Still
for
on the
free.
cell
I
phone?
know. But I bought it because I loved it so much.
Elf.
Elf. With an A.
Elf.
Elf.
Our
that's a
gracious
great
host. What about you? Honorable mentions.
Well, I was going to say Sabrina. We talked about it,
Sabrina.
so I'll still keep that out there. Great show, underrated. Let me pull out my... Oh, Step by Step.
Oh, yeah.
Step by Step
that
was
was
one
on
of my
mine.
favorite TGIF shows for a while.
Cody.
Cody was my favorite, yep. And then, it's funny how many of these we actually talked about, but here's one that you guys probably either barely remember or, like, maybe not at all. Blossom.
Blossom, yeah.
Blossom was a great show. I remember
Can't
watching
say
it all the
that I
time.
remember that one.
Blossom, Joey Lawrence. And from another big show, she was in that show, Big Bang Theory.
Big Bang Theory.
Yeah.
Oh, I wanted to also just throw out dinosaurs.
I was going to say that too. That's number one right here on my list.
Is it really?
Yeah.
And then we mentioned Cheers, and then the other one, real quick, that I just kind of
That's what I'm going to say.
Ahead,
that
go
one.
ahead.
My honorable mention, Saved by the Bell was on there for me.
Mm.
I loved it.
Zach
we all
Morris.
did. Zach Morris was just the coolest kid in school, and
He really was.
Or AC Slater.
Well, in later years.
In later years, it was
Slater.
AC Slater, but Zach Morris was the one that you wanted to be.
Rest in peace, Screech.
Oh, yeah. Dustin
very
Diamond just
true.
recently passed away.
Yep. Family Matters was another one on my list that I was going to go with. Family Matters was awesome.
Yeah.
And then another one that's more recent was 2.5 Men was on my list.
Yeah, I was going to say that. Two of the more recent
You mentioned
ones.
Charlie Sheen earlier, and I was like,
Yeah.
ooh, he might say it here.
2.5 Men was up there
But
for
that
me.
was... And that one, even when Ashton Kutcher kind of took over, wasn't as
Still
good,
good.
but it was still good.
Yeah.
Well, when
I didn't hate it. Like, when, a lot of times when you replace an actor or whatever, it's this is garbage.
Yeah, right.
It was actually still pretty good. Jake's older, so he's funnier as he gets older.
We literally got to see that kid grow.
Yes,
like
throughout that
insanity.
show.
A lot of these
and-
shows.
Yeah, true.
But so when you mentioned earlier How I Met Your Mother, the two shows that I hold hand in hand with that show, same time frame, are 2.5 Men, and one that I think is hilarious. Maybe you guys don't. It's Always Sunny in Philadelphia.
Never really got into
very
it.
good show.
That's a very good show.
That is a very good show.
And
as
for
well.
fantasy football guys, the show back in the day, The League.
The League, yep.
was so
I own
funny.
that. I actually own
Yeah.
all of those seasons on DVD.
Well,
and
since you guys
fantastic.
both talked about Ashton Kutcher, also The Ranch.
I never saw
Very
it.
good show.
Very good show.
On Netflix. If you guys haven't seen it, check it out.
Yeah.
It's a lot of the old That 70s Show cast in there
Yeah.
that is
You're
in
gonna
this
see,
show.
Yeah, you're going to see...
You see Hyde, you see Kelso, who is one of the main stars.
See Hyde for a little bit, from what I hear.
a few seasons.
It's
Like
Yeah.
4 or 5 seasons, I think.
Then he got canceled.
Even
Red
is in there for a little bit. Kitty.
Fez.
Fez makes an appearance.
Who's on what? Not NCIS now?
Is he?
I believe so,
I think
yeah.
Fez is on NCIS
So-
Okay.
now.
I have an idea, too. With these 4 picks. You're sitting here on Friday night.
I was going to say the same
Let's
thing.
rank these in order of which one you would want to see first
To last.
to last.
I was going to say the
one
same
last
thing.
shout out to end the
Sure.
honorable mentions, because I think it might be the most underrated sitcom from like the 2000s, because you look at the name, you look at the star, you think it's stupid. Was Reba.
Oh, yeah.
I don't know
That's
if you
a
guys
very
ever
underrated
saw
show.
Reba. Reba was so
Very
The guy,
good.
the dude, Van.
Van
Van.
is
Hilarious.
hilarious.
hilarious. He's so
Hilarious.
funny. She's freaking
And
hilarious.
he's in Shameless too. If anybody's ever
Yes,
watched
he is,
Shameless,
yeah.
even
Me,
hilarious.
like looking at the name Reba, like who the hell wants to watch a Reba McEntire sitcom?
It's funny.
It is.
actually very funny.
really funny. It didn't make my list. So so we're going about the hours. So
which one you would want to watch first, and which one you would want to end with?
From 8 o'clock to 9:30. Or to 10,
10
actually.
o'clock.
Yeah.
I think for mine, remember I had Friends, Seinfeld, Frasier, Drew Carey.
Yes.
I think you need to start off with Drew Carey,
Good.
and then you go into Friends, and then just like it was back in the day, you go Seinfeld and Frasier to end, because
Okay.
you got starting off with a little more kid friendliness, I guess, with Drew Carey. And then it's more adult shows, and put Frasier at the end because a lot of people don't like it, maybe, and you get the old people that stay up.
There you go.
That's
So
fair.
that's where I'm going.
Well,
What about you, Robbie?
I think I'm starting with Keenan and Kel, just to get your kind of more immature laughter out of the way.
Right.
Right.
And then from Keenan and Kel, I'm going Last Man Standing, and then hitting I Love Lucy, and then Boy Meets World.
Put Boy Meets
I like it.
World at 9:30 when all
Yeah.
the kids are in bed.
Yeah,
Smart.
yeah. I'm thinking of the later years.
I think my list is tough to pick which one goes first and which one goes last. But if I have to start, I'm starting with Fresh Prince.
Yeah.
I want to get my night started off right. I'm laughing all the way through, and I'm literally going to keep it in the order that it
that's what I
is.
think
Is I'm
you should.
going seven.
Yep.
I'm going That 70s Show, How I Met Your Mother,
Yeah.
New Girl.
I was
Ended.
thinking that as I was reading
Done.
down your list. I'm like, it's already in order.
It's,
Because like the New Girl's the most adulty one. So
it
put
is,
that
and
on
it's
towards the end.
it's more recent and all that, and just I don't think I didn't laugh, not once.
You didn't laugh?
You
No,
didn't
I
laugh
laughed.
once. He didn't laugh
I laughed
once.
the whole time. I didn't not laugh at
You
all
didn't-
the episodes.
You did not laugh.
I did not laugh at the one time that I didn't laugh. No, you guys get it.
Don't worry, Zoe Deschanel. I always laugh for you, girl. Hey, girl.
Pick up the She and Him Christmas album, 10-year anniversary.
I have it on vinyl, so suck it.
All right, whatever. So clearly you love Zoe Deschanel.
Yo, and her music's great.
She was great in Yes Man.
Yep, she was great and possibly the greatest Christmas movie of all time.
We're not doing this right now.
Well, no, you can't do
And,
that.
by the way, She and Him
'Cause,
Christmas
I mean,
album.
it's-
Hell yeah.
It's great.
It's great.
fantastic.
It
yeah.
is really good.
All right, guys. Well, I think that wraps it up. Are you guys hungry?
Starving.
Chef?
Beautiful.
Boom. We just finished In Time to Eat.
Yes.
I think this was fun. We have to do another one with animated shows.
Yes.
I like it.
And then,
That'll be fun.
And then we
That'll
have to
be a good one,
do...
too.
I'll have to check my schedule. I'll call my agent.
All right.
Have your people call my people.
All right. Can you call him?
Yeah. I'll get on it tomorrow.
He's my people and he's your people.
Yeah, so it works out good.
All right, guys. Thank you for being here, fucking up the intro, but having a great time after.
That was a great intro.
We might edit a little.
They'll be like, why did Adam only have 2 shows?
Yeah.
Doesn't matter.
We're going to talk about the Christmas movie thing, just not yet. So just hang on to that.
Yeah.
Christmas time starts October 1st.
I mean, I'm ready now.
I'm ready.
Like
I'm going home to put up my tree.
We would do the next hour of Christmas movies. Actually, if you're talking Christmas movies, we might do 3 episodes because I won't stop.
Yeah, there's a lot of good Christmas movies.
Because you're going to be like
there.
Mike Bird's, be like, this is a Christmas killing from September of Sweden 24.
We did those last year.
That's right. I
want to do the straight.
It was like a 9-hour episode.
Yeah, Mike. I want to do the straight Christmas movies. The real, like, this is getting me warm and fuzzies.
I'm in. 100%.
All right. You heard it here first on the All Bets Are Off podcast. Chazz is in. Are you in?
I'm in.
All right, we're going to do it.
We'll discuss.
Chazz just got fired.
You know who's a really big fan of just Christmas in general?
Who that?
The owner of the Gear Network, JC Money.
JC.
So...
I've been trying to get on a show with him.
Just saying.
I know, I see his countdown every day.
Yeah,
I
that's
do
right.
too.
Shout out to
Follow
JC
him on
Money.
Twitter as well.
I've been trying to get on
For those of you that also want to follow him on Twitter,
I am JC Money.
there it is.
No, you're not.
I'm not.
No, you're not.
That's the handle. Maybe that's his Instagram. I don't know.
Either
Follow
way,
him.
just search
He's just
it.
your boss.
Just search it, you'll find it.
He's going to totally drop the show now. All right, guys. Thank you again. And we will see you guys next week on the All Bets Are Off podcast.
Cheers, guys.
The preceding presentation has been brought to you by the Gear Network.